Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, November 10th, 2025, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Champaign, Illinois. You're watching Call for Two. You're joining me for our fifth session playing Vantage, a game that has surprised me quite a bit. I'm drinking my Christmas tea. It tastes a little like they've changed the recipe from this Twinings Christmas tree. They've made it taste more Christmassy, which I do not like. The reason I like this is because it doesn't taste like Christmas tea, and now it does. I feel like I'm going to have to find a new favorite tea. All right, how is everyone doing? YouTube says 11 concurrent viewers. Let's just talk a little bit about some bookkeeping first. This past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I did 2 live stream updates. One about New York Noir, the board game I've been working on for years, which is right there. And one, the 5-year anniversary celebration channel update, and a celebration of 5,000 subscribers. And I was just thinking yesterday, the time has really flown by, but boy, has this channel turned out to be a pleasant surprise, and I'm very grateful for it. Okay, so Vantage. Let's talk about what we've done so far with Vantage. We've played through 4 sessions. We had a very short session, which ended in tragedy, somewhere in there. And our last session was really it was an interesting one. That sort of has stuck with me a little bit. We ended up buying a house and deciding to live in the forest. We've been playing 4 sessions with one character, the navigator. This guy here, sort of hapless navigator. And at the very end, he called in his ship to rescue him, but he decided to stay on the planet and live as a sort of hermit in a house that he bought for a lot of money. So 4 sessions with this guy, and we've decided to retire him. At least for now. Maybe he's going to have an adventure in the future, but we're going to put him aside. He was the guy that specialized in look, the purple action. And so here are the people that we're considering taking with us this time. And we're going to decide as a group who to take here. This guy's gone away. I've been quite pleasantly surprised by Vantage. I haven't recorded a review yet, but at some point when we play enough of it to see whether the novelty wears off, we're going to have to do a review. Now let's check in with the chat. Jonathan Warner is here. Isara is here. Amato Rose, Melissa, Perry, and I already said Melissa. What is the game next to Flashpoint on the shelf? Is it new? Jonathan is so good at spotting differences. Okay, the game that you see next to Flashpoint is called The Clock Strikes 13 or something like that. What's it really say? The Clock has stricken 3. And this was a game that was mentioned by someone in the Discord and also by a blog called The Escape Room Puzzler, I think. One of the very good blogs covering mystery games. In fact, they've been doing a very good job recently and have been interviewing designers as well. If I got that name wrong, I will correct it in the comments. Anyway, it's from overseas. It's a cold case game of some sort set in Victorian England, I think. And we'll be playing it at some point. All right, so do we remember how to play? I did refresh myself on the rules, but we always start on this book 0 first. Okay, weeks after receiving a mysterious signal from the Traveler, your ship arrives in the orbit of an uncharted planet. Create a total challenge dice pool using 8 dice plus 2 per player. Okay, so I've already put aside 2 of the challenge dice. Next, each player gains a different skill, select or randomize, and its matching character card. Okay, so we're going to choose a character here. We've been playing with the Navigator 1436 here. We're going to choose the next person. All right, now we could get out these cards if we wanted. The cards I got out were sort of the placeholders, but I suppose we could go ahead and take out, I'm not sure why they hid these away, but let me just take out the proper cards so we could actually choose from them. Up to 1440, 1435 to 1440. Okay, so these cards I have here are actually just the placeholders. They're just easier to get at. Not sure why we had to do that, but okay, let's put these people away. And we'll take these so that we can better choose. So there's our Navigator who we're not going to take. We've taken him before and he's retired, but here are the people we can choose from. And it will be up to you in the chat to help me. I was going to say it's up to you to decide, but I shouldn't give away my vote so easily. All right, so who's it going to be? Now, each of them specialize in one of the 6 skills. So this one is good at moving, traveling, I guess you might say. This is the engage person. Maybe take an action. This is the help, the person that wants to help others, maybe. And the yellow is take. I guess we might think of her as the gatherer or robber. And then this is the overpower. This is the sort of violent one. So when we're in the mood for fighting, we could take this one. But what does the group feel in the mood for today? What's it going to be? Captain, scholar, medic, engineer, and marine. I guess maybe I could have just read that instead of trying to convey my own interpretation. Remember that one thing that's different is what skill they start with. The other thing that's different, even though these cards may look the same and have the same abilities, remember that each of their 3 things here are different. Jonathan says, Scholar Engineer. Isara says, I like the Marine. Now, let me just comment here about Isara saying she likes the Marine. Now, Isara is not Isara doesn't want us killing innocent people and fighting with aliens. So I'm not sure Isara really wants us to take this Marine. If we take this Marine, we're going to be fighting creatures just for the hell of fighting them. So do you really want us to take the Marine? I think we should only take this when we're really in the mood to have a game where we go fighting, which is not generally our style. I think more our style is the engineer, or the scholar, or maybe the engineer is basically the way we normally play. Which skill relates to barter? Might be fun to be a merchant. That's probably I guess it's probably the person who has the take action. So I'm guessing the engineer likes to trade for her stuff. On a related note, I went and saw Predator Badlands today. It was okay. I mean, it's a pretty gutsy idea to make a movie starring some scary-looking predator creature. I didn't hate it. It has too much comedy for my taste, just like all the trends and all the Marvel movies. Not quite as much comedy as the Marvel movies, but too much. All right, so what's it going to be? Anyone else want to get in on this? Voting? Let me know who you want. It's going to determine how we play this game. I think maybe Tara Smith says take the Scholar. Well, it's 2 votes for Scholar. I was going to say... All right, let's take the Scholar today. We can change our mind later. Although the way we have been playing is to play them until they have an ending. Okay, let's put these guys back. All right, we're going to take the Scholar. So we're going to try to spend a game learning a bit. So we can spend a boost to get another engage action token. And let's just put that in the center where it belongs. Okay, so if we were to roll to get that, but we're not rolling, we're just choosing, but we do take one of these tokens corresponding to that skill, which we'll put here. Put this in the middle and gain when placed, which is 2 boost cubes go on this person. Okay, then it says, sorry, they go there. Okay, then it tells me, reminds me that we're going to be using the orange tokens to track this person's stats. Only 3, okay, that's right, and I'll just put these by me. We won't need the rest. And we're going to have to decide what level we play. Now, I think we should play for the long game and give us the most generous stats. But for sure, I don't want to play the default of daring because we like to explore more. On the other hand, he looks a little old, like maybe he's not going to have a super long life. So I could be convinced to put it on 5, but my inclination is just max it out here. go for the longest game and we decide when we want to end it. Okay, now gain 2 skills at random. All right, so let's give ourselves 2 additional skills. All right, so we've got 1 more token here, and we've got an overpower. First player gains 2 skills at random, and we pick our mission. Everyone else goes to location 1. Okay. All right, so what have we got? What mission do we have? We have this one here, 1588. So let's go and find what our mission for today is. $15.88. Having a completed final personal objective in one player's grid or reserve. If you do, read 1588 in the Book of Secrets. Pursue personal growth. Okay, so this mission is not really different from just having some personal growth, which might suggest that we want to do his personal stuff here or his personal stuff here. Okay. And we'll just put that up there. Let's put this away. All right, so we've done all that, and now we do the instructions here. Each player gains a different skill, select or randomize, places a matching location in their location card holder, and simultaneously follows the instruction on this card. Okay, so the way we do it is we don't roll. We choose one of these locations. I suppose we could roll here since we don't know. We don't know where we're going to land, and we don't know that one is better than the other. The ship malfunctions. You have mere seconds to escape. Okay, I'm just going to roll here. Okay, so that's the thing. So we get that skill, which is the help skill. And we go grab card 5. Not sure we've started a game yet on card 5. And it reminds us each player should now have 2 skill tokens from this, and the first player should have 4, which is what we have 4. Okay, so all is good. We're starting on location 5. Your escape pod seals tight, ejecting towards the planet in a completely different direction from the others. Gain 2 random skills and crash onto the matching location. You may reroll pairs to get an easier location. All right, here we go. So let's see what skills we're going to get and where we're going to end up. Okay, so what have we got? Purple, green. Whoops, I like that. Okay, so purple green is 183. That's our location. Let's see if it's somewhere we've been before. Oh, I do not think so. We have certainly never been here. Look at that craziness to start our game out. Oh my God, we've run right into a sentient. All right, let me get us these skills before things get out of control here. Okay, so we've got 2 more skills here. All right, this is crazy way to start. We landed right into some home of a sentient. Look at that. It's a flying creature sentient. I don't know if we know the name of these creatures yet. A sentient twirls above the ground in a rhythmic motion focused on their task. Okay, so they're doing something. Now remember, we're the scholar. So we may want to treat this like a scholarly enterprise and just study this creature, but we could talk to it. Now, we don't know where it is, so let me remind you of a couple things before we get started. The first thing to remind you is that we will be playing using the app, the Vantage app by what is the name of this? Rule Pop, which is amazing for solo play. I couldn't imagine playing this game without it. Having to juggle all the books. This makes life a lot easier, and it means we don't see what an action does before we read it. So that's the first thing to remind you. Now, the second thing to remind you is something that we just realized on our last playthrough, I think, which is, remember that we're at this location, but we don't know where on the planet it is. And there is an overview map of the entire, well, there are these maps, which try not to pay too much attention to, but they're all copies of the same map, but showing where different things are. But here is our map from A to P. And what we realized yesterday is that anytime you do the look action, which is the purple action, so anytime you do the purple related action, it tells you where or what region you're at, where you are in this world. So it's a good thing to do every once in a while to get our bearings. So I do think maybe we should just start out studying this before we go any further, and we'll know what region we're in, and we'll know we are sort of good at that. But another thing we could do instead is do some of these actions, like boost ourselves up a little bit before we start messing on this planet. Jonathan says talk is the skill we're good at. It's true. Orange is our main thing, talk. Okay, but should we, before we start talking to this guy, should we start? We don't have any money. Let's remind ourselves how to play this game. We don't have any money, but we could turn to boost into a money. Or we could spend our boost to reroll. Let me just see what this camera looks like. Okay, so we can also switch to this camera, which shows the tablet and the chat and the space. So this should be my go-to view that I should remember to do. All right, I guess now is not the time to like practice our skills. We've got a creature. He's right in front of us. I mean, in all fairness, though, he is focused. Are we really going to try to talk to him while he's doing some ritual? Like, what if we distract him? I think in this case, we'd be better off studying. I don't want to distract this guy. What if he's like keeping the demons at bay or something? Look at all these flags up. Yeah, I think we should study what he's doing, because maybe we'll learn he's doing some dance that he needs help with. I don't know that we're going to be able to understand his language. All right, I'm gonna override the choice here and decide we should study him. All right, let me default to this thing. So we're going to storybooks. We're going to study, and we're doing 183. Are we playing this game correctly? Yes. Okay, let's study. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, so it's a 1 cost, and we're in location E. Let's remember that. We're in location E. Study the sentience dance. Okay, so he's dancing. We're doing a 1 cost thing. Okay, so we could pay our token, but we might as well just roll a die as our first test. Okay, so we got a blank. That's good. So we put it up there. It doesn't cost us anything. However, we didn't do the orange action, so we can't put it there. So it's going to have to go here. Okay, so that's it. We've succeeded. Let's see what it says. At first, it's difficult to discern the sentience dance moves, but a distinct pattern emerges, and you're able to memorize it. Gain ability 1469. We memorized his dance. Does that mean we're going to be able to do that dance and have some effect? All right, we've started out on good track. We've gained an ability. Let's see what this ability is. We can dance. Look at this. Okay, so you just do the dance with a sentient in your grid. So it has to be accompanying us. It has to be like a companion. And it improves our morale. And if in the process we didn't lose any health or time, then the sentient gets a little boost. So we've got one, when we dance, we can put one die on here to get a boost, or we can spend 2 boosts from this card to put a second die on here. So while doing this test, we can have place to put dice to get us to make this happen. And we can use these boost tokens to help us move or dance. Dance is a move-like action. Okay, so we put this ability in our grid. And maybe we want to put it somewhere. There's some things that say whatever it's next to, you gain a bonus. So I'm trying to leave this space for something like that we have 2 next to. Okay, no boost, no initial, doesn't initialize with anything on it. And now remember, we can't do anything else here. We can't dance, we can't talk, we can't assist. Now, we can't do this dance. Oh, and we can't do this because he's not in our grid. This only works with people that are in our grid, which is too bad. Maybe if we had enlisted him, he would be traveling around with us. Should we have done that? Could we have enlisted him and then we'd have this friend with us? All right, well, it's too late. We're going to have to move on from here. But Jonathan says, should we do the action on the objective card that clarifies our goal? I don't remember which that is. I guess it's not pivot. I think pivot is when you want to move towards it or change your structure. But research is the one, I think, that helps you figure out how to achieve this. I do think, well, last time we played, we got some good advice about doing their skills. All right, so before we move on, we'll just hang out with this guy for a minute and learn a little bit our goal. Let's do the research action. That's purple. So we're going to do purple on card 1588. Okay. Research how you can complete the mission. This action can be performed at most once per game. Yeah, I do like doing this action on our missions. We tend to be fairly focused on missions when we play. Well, that's what we're doing now, Asara. We are clarifying what our objective is. Okay, so it's a test 2. Since we don't know, since everything's maxed out, it seems like we should probably just eat these rather than try to pay for them. This is a good view, isn't it? You can see, the only thing that I might do is I might make this a little bigger in this view. This is a pretty good view. You can see, I guess I can move this here. You can see everything, you can see the chat, you can see the screen. Okay, so we rolled 1 nothingness and 1 heart, which we have no place to put. That's okay. We're just going to eat that heart because we'd rather not have these maxed out. We'd rather have some situation where we could, if they can go up, that we can bring them up. Okay, so we have paid for that. We could have re-rolled if we wanted to. But we don't. Everything's fine. All right, let's see what we got here. After struggling through dead-end jobs and relationships, you signed up for a week-long self-care retreat find inspiration and your first objective in your character's personal item. Gain that item or gain any 2 skills if you already have your personal item. Now this is important because I believe that's what we could have already had our personal item if we had done this equip. I think the equip is the thing to get your personal item. So because we haven't done that, now that's what's going to happen. Well, we don't have to check if it's right. We're just going to get it right now. So we're the scholar, so we're going to gain item 1301. But I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that we could have gotten that ourselves just by doing the equip action. Here, every character has its own item. The chat needs to be a little bigger, but the rest is working great. Okay, I will fix that next time. All right, so let's see what our personal item is. I think this overlay should be a little bigger on the screen too. It's a notebook. It's for recording our thoughts. It's worth 2 coins. Nothing to do about that later. We can put another of our favorite action on here, but when we do the look action, we can put a hourglass here. When we do the move, we can put a heart. We can take 3 boosts, and we can spend 2 boosts to gain our first personal objective. Okay, so this is what we want, right? We want our personal objective because that's what solves this mission. So it seems like we should try to do this. We should try to gain our personal objective by spending 2 boosts. So we want to trigger this to let us put a boost on here, and then when we get 2, we can do this. So we want to do these actions, the engage action, which is our specialty. It makes sense. Now, shall we do this master action before we continue on? I mean, we could even do this buy action. That would, but we have no money. Let's try this master action. Doing these things seem to be a good idea. So let's go ahead before we move on. We'll hang around watching this guy dance. We're going to do the master action here. So we're going to do this purple action again, but on our own card, which is 1437. And this is going to upgrade ourselves, I think. Wow, it's a 5 test. Master some survival skills. You may perform this action at most once per game. Wow, 5 tests. Okay. Well, that's a lot. But I guess better now than later. I'm going to go ahead and spend one of these, though. So now we have 4 to roll. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, so these 2 we'll just take, because that means nothing. And then here we would lose morale and a health. We have a place to put an hourglass, but we didn't roll an hourglass. So I guess let's not hoard these like we usually do. I'm going to spend one of these to re-roll. And I'm going to re-roll, actually, yeah, this one we can put right here. So I'm just going to re-roll this one. Try not to get another heart. Okay, so that was this. This can go here. That's all good. All right, there's our test. Let's see what we've got. You master some skills that may help you to survive on this planet. Gain experience card 1456 and a look and a help. All right, so we gain a look and we gain a help. We've got lots of helps. And 1456 experience. All right, let's see what we've got here. I think we've seen this before. If full, at end of turn, you must... If full, at end of turn, you must lose this card and gain a look and a help. You may then replace your character with 1443. Okay, so once we fill this up, we get to improve our character with new skills. That's pretty good. But it doesn't start out with any boosts on it, but we can put, any time we do a look action, we can put any die on here. That's great. Okay, this is a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and put it right up here. I'm trying to make it so we can do the cards that are adjacent. In fact, let me put this guy down here. All right. So far, so good, and I feel like we haven't missed any rules that I can think of. We've done the master action. That's what got us our skill. We've done the equip action this way, not this way, to get us the notebook. And we studied this creature to learn how to dance, and it's time to move on. Now, we said we were in E, right? And we're not technically, don't have access to a map yet, but... Well, I guess I don't want to go west because we're on the far west of the of this planet. So we should go east, but we could go east, north, or south. It looks like if we go north, we'll go through this guy's rings. Maybe he's opened a little teleportation thing for us to walk through. Or maybe if we go north, it's going to upset him. What do you think? We're definitely leaving now because we can't buy, we can't dance, and I don't think it's time to do any of this. We should just be trying to do this to gain a personal objective. So we should do lots of engaging. From now on, we're going to be engaging creatures. So, I mean, I think maybe we should go north and see what happens when we go through his rings. He might not like that, though. Jonathan says, let's go north. Okay, we're going to go north. So remember that when you go to a number, you're doing a one-cost move. So it's just a plain one-cost move. We have no move tokens, so we have to roll one die. It's a... time. Do we have a place to put this time? We do not. So time is going to tick by. Be nice to get more places to put some of these things. Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. This is a move. We could put a move heart here. No, okay. So that was our move, and now we're going to be able to move north to 188. So it's a navigate action. This is a little... No, we don't do anything in the app. We just do it. We just do this thing and bring out card 188. Now, normally you would put this back in the box, but the way we play, one of our things is we just leave these out. Okay, so we've gone north and we've ended up here at 188. A rusty wind turbine creaks but doesn't spin, and we've still got this creature's thing here. I guess that means we're in their domain. Even though I don't see him, I guess he's right behind me. So let me just remind you that, so if we went south, we'd be back with this guy to 183. If we wanted to go north, that's when we would consult the book or the app to find out what happens if we go north. We don't just take a card when we don't know the cost. but we could try to scavenge. We could try to repair. Maybe we'd be repairing that windmill. We could try to climb that windmill. What we really want to do, though, is we want to do these actions, engage actions whenever possible. And we've also got some good stuff for the look actions. So it seems to me maybe it's time to trade, although we don't have much to trade with and we don't have any money. And we can't even generate money. I don't like that. I don't know if trading is the right thing for us here. We'd be pretty good at listening. Or maybe we should just try trade. Jonathan says we should scale it and try to get a map. Okay, let's do it. Let's climb up and look around, says Anna. All right, we're going to climb up. So we're going to do the scale action. That's a move action. We have no tokens for it, but we don't need any. We're just going to do 188. The scale action. Okay, scale the turbine. Is that what it's called? It's a 4 test. We have no cards to do it and no place to put cards except 1. All right, let's do it now. We can't roll all 4. So everything gets recycled. Only 1 card came off here, which isn't great. So that wasn't a super efficient action. Okay, there's our 4 tests. Let's see. So this is a nothing. This is a setback, which would normally go here. And then we've got a time and a star. All right, well, we can put the star right here. If it was a heart, we could put it here. Otherwise, we just have to eat this. But I don't want to re-roll it. I want to save this for money. So we're just going to eat this. I'd love to find some cards that let us put rolls when we're doing this navigation action, since we seem to do that a lot. All right, well, we've scaled it. Let's see what it says. From the top of the turbine, you get a better look at the rusty gears and the surrounding area. View page 35 of the Book of Vantages and gain 1 help. And then you may continue, so we could keep doing another action here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the help. Boy, we should start helping people. Look at all these. And it says page 35. Oh, look at that. Now that is pretty cool. It's actually Region E. We knew we were in Region E, but look at this. All right. So we recognize this, don't we? We just crossed through here. That's what the edge of the water is. We just went through here. So if we keep going north, we're going to cross this river and get to some graveyard. And over to the west, some weird little sphere in a cave and some things here. But look at this. This looks like a city over here to the south. And this creature who's in this tunnel looks like there's a whole bunch of tents around him. And then it looks like there's some castle towers here, some interesting plants here, some very weird. Okay, this is the Snowy Mountains. This will kill you if you don't have a coat. So we're not going this way. But we could go south and try to get to this. I don't know if we can get into this city, but this looks like a city. And maybe this way is a city. So it looks like southwest, the way we came, might be a city. Or we could be more bold and go study this graveyard, or study this sphere in a cave. Is kind of interesting. Pretty cool, huh? I think we should also... The way we've been playing this game is once we see something one game, we allow ourselves to look at it in future games. So I'm just going to make a note that we have access to the Region E map. Okay. So we're not that good at traveling though. So if we go backwards, it's a little bit out of the way, but there's some white flags here and some white flags here. There's some, what is this, like some sort of diamond monolith over here. This feels like maybe if we were headed for that, could be a city here too. Look at these gates. But all I know is we don't want to go here. Like without a jacket, the snowy mountains kill us. So, well, we can put this away. We have access to this going forward. So now we have to, it said we could continue. So we can actually do another one of these actions. That's something Jonathan is usually good at. He's usually good at sussing out which of these actions will let us do another action. And that happened to be one of them. Now, let me remind you, repair is something we're good at, but we don't even know what it does. So I'm not sure we want to repair it. But look at this, a rusty wind turbine. Creaks but doesn't spin. So we could try to repair it from them. Maybe they'd give us a little gift. Maybe if we had talked to that guy, he would say, he actually did kind of look like maybe he's a wind creature. Like maybe he would appreciate us turning on that turbine. Oh, dangerous to be just repairing things without talking to people first, but we could try it. We're good at it. Should we repair the turbine? I mean, we are scholars, so we got to be curious. What will happen if we repair that turbine? Okay, we're going to repair it. Here we go. We climbed it, and now we're going to repair it. All right, so we're doing the help action on card 188 to repair this turbine. It's a 5 test to repair the old turbine. However, we've got a bunch of tokens to spend. So I'm going to spend 3 of them, 3 out of the 5, and then we'll only roll 2 dice. So there goes 3. So we only roll 2. Okay, unfortunately, we can't put that heart anywhere. So we'll put this up top, and we'll eat the heart. I don't like how many tokens we're eating, but that's just the way it goes. All right, let's see what happens when we repaired it. The gears are clogged with sand, so you take them apart, clean them, put them back together. The machine's owner is absolutely overjoyed, and they offer you the choice between a special gem and a lesson that could help you earn the Horn of Destiny to the west. Oh, we have a choice between the gem or the lesson that could earn you the Horn of Destiny. Well, what do we want? Do we want the gem or do we want the Horn of Destiny? The Horn of Destiny to the west. A lesson that could help you earn the Horn of Destiny to the west. It also gets us a boost and 2 engage tokens. Or the special gem. That's true. The special gem doesn't commit us to a specific route. So maybe because we don't know if we really want the Horn of Destiny, although I like those boost stuff. All right, Jonathan says he wants the gem. You all know how this goes, right? You should just speak up the moment you have an idea rather than waiting for me to ask. Jonathan has spoken up. He says, let's take the gem. So we're telling that creature, who must have been that creature we just walked by, that we want the gem. 1168. Let's see what we got. It's a crystal, an orange crystal. And orange is our favorite color. Look, we can put an orange hourglass on orange heart. It's a citrian gem. It's worth 7 money. And we can do the refine action to refine it into an amulet. Very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in our supply. I'm going to put it here down where we're putting all our orange things. That makes doing the orange action pretty appealing for us because we've got 4 places to put dice when we do the orange action. Doesn't start out with any boost, but we can refine it, but it costs 7 to refine it. Youch. But we can turn it into an amulet, which is presumably better than this. Whatever this does, which is this, an amulet would be even better. All right, so he made this guy very happy. But now it's time for us to move along. Now, we know we don't want to go east. That's where the snow is. And west, I mean, we're going to feel pretty bad if we come across this Horn of Destiny and we don't know the lesson to help us. So, should we head back south to the city or north across the river? Jonathan says we should go south back to the city. The only problem with that is we're going to have to move twice past where we already went, but I think we should do it. All right, so we're going to move south from here, which is just a 1 move action to get us back to 183. Unfortunately, we have no place to put these dice. Okay, that's okay. So it didn't really cost us anything. Now we're back with this guy, and you can see the overjoyed look on his face. And now we're going to go south to 178. So it's another single action move. If we roll a heart, we have a place to put it. All right, that's okay. That's just as good. All right, so we've gone south to 178. I think 178, right? Yes, okay. Let's go get our 178. We're going south, and we have our map of E, so we know we're headed back towards this walled city. But look how colorful this area. E is so colorful. They're like little fairies. Oh, look at that. A sentient approaches you, gesturing rapidly to the flowers. Now, it would be nice to make a friend with one of these people. He's pointing to the flowers. What does he want? What is he trying to tell us? Is he trying to tell us he wants to trade with us? Is he trying to tell us to eat them? Examine them? I mean, examine seems like the thing that we should be doing, but we're also very good at trading, so maybe it's time to trade. We could dance with them too, it's just we're very bad at that skill. A sentient approaches you, gesturing rapidly to the flowers. Does he look like they're dangerous? They don't really look dangerous. I don't know if they're giant or if these guys are small. I mean, he's not really inviting us to dance, and we don't know how to dance with him, so I'm not inclined to dance. But if we examine them, we're not too bad at examining. We've got 2 places to put them. I think we're a scholar. When in doubt, let's examine. Okay, let's examine here. All right, so we're going to do the examine action on card 178. Let's see if we can learn something about these flowers before we start eating them or trading for them. So it's a 1 test. That's easy enough. Okay, it's a star. We'd like to put that somewhere. We can put that somewhere. We can put it right here. And that will, in fact, get a boost on this card, which is great. All good. You pretend not to notice the sentient while you inspect the flowers with care. They're beautiful, and they give you a sense of appreciation for the life around you. But there's also something sad about them. Gain Quest 1629. Unfortunately, we can no longer do anything with these flowers now that we've done the examine action. I thought it might have given us another choice. Okay, let's see what it has given us here. This is a new quest. The wind sentients, seeking a cure for the dying flowers, beg you to find the bandit hideout in the foggy mountains in the far southeast. If we were to do that, we'd achieve a goal. Find the bandit hideout. Travel and enter the bandit hideout. You may repeat previously performed action. If you do, upon arrival, read 1629. So these wind creatures, it looks like these might be stone creatures that have stolen it from them. And E is definitely the wind creatures, but I don't know that we want to go southeast. Now, remember this, because I sort of made this mistake on one of our earlier playthroughs. I started putting dice here, but you can't put dice here. After we achieve this goal, we can put things here. I still find this rule a little weird, but it's horizontal. I think maybe it's just telling us, what is it telling us with these? I think it's just telling us we can't put things on here, but that eventually we will be able to after we achieve it. Is that right? I think it's saying after you achieve it, you can put things here. I find that very confusing. Okay, but we have to leave now. Whatever we've done, we can't spend more time with these people. So it's time to move along. If we go south, we don't know what it's going to cost us or where we're going to go, but we could go west. Do we need to remind ourselves what region E looks like? So we're here now. We passed this guy, and now we're talking to these flowers. There's more flowers to the east. So if we wanted more chance to interact with these flowers, we could go east. And then if we go southeast, there's the bandits. But I'm afraid the bandits are in the snow, and we shouldn't be going there. And if we want to go to the city, we really want to go south or southwest. So we're going to leave the flowers. We'll go straight south, though. I guess west would take us this way. We want to go straight south. Okay, let's go straight south. I hope it doesn't cost us too much, because we are not good at moving. Now, let me remind you, there are other options for us. If we wanted to do this buy action, or we can't do a master action, but we already have one of these. We could try to refine this right now with a 7 cost. Or we could master buy or equip, or we could do one of these, but probably it's not time to do one of these. I guess it's probably not time to refine either. So I guess we're moving. Are we going to move directly south? Okay, we're going to move directly south. Let's just hope it doesn't cost us too much. So we're going to do the navigate action, not the move action, a little bit misleading. And we're going to do navigate on card 178, or depart on 178. And now it's going to give us the choices. We could move north for an unknown or south for an unknown. We want to go south. So we're looking at this one. Okay, now this looks like there's no cost. It's just going to tell us what happens. That makes me nervous. Whoa. So it's a 2 cost to trudge across the sand dunes. That makes me a little nervous. Going across the desert without water, but we have to do it now. It's a 2 test. Now, what is it a 2 test of? I guess it's a 2 move test. All right, well, we've got 2 dice, so we're just going to roll them here. Okay, 2 blanks. That's pretty good. Can't ask for too much more. I fear that we're now going to have to do more trudging across the desert. Well, let's see. You briefly consider trying to slide down the dunes on a huge flower petal before dismissing the idea. Go to 348. That's a weird thing to tell us. We considered it, but we didn't do it. Okay. Then what do we see? Whoa, there's that floating diamond. Look at how crazy that is. All right, we just suffered a heat damage. I don't like that. But we should have known that. We did know. We kind of knew what we were asking for by going across the desert. And I fear that there's going to be more of that ahead if we keep traveling across the desert. But let's see what we've got. An otherworldly device levitates over the sand. So we've got this device. It's like a diamond monolith. It's got this symbol on it. We don't really understand. I mean, that seems to suggest it wants us to do this purple action, but is that really what's doing? Or is it just a clue that that's something related to looking? We could try to hack into it. We could try to activate it. We could try to push it. I mean, we are good at activating, so I feel like maybe that's what we should do, but don't we need to know how to activate it? Are we just going to really randomly push on it, randomly do stuff to activate it? But maybe what we should think about is that we're good at that thing, so we were likely to succeed. Jonathan says, I'd try to activate it. It might be a drinking fountain or a soda vending machine. All right, let's try to activate it. So we are going to activate card 348. Now we happen to be good at this at least, and it helps our skills. So I do like that part of it. Okay, it's a 3 test to activate the device. Now, we could use our tokens, but really we've got so many places to put these. I think we want to roll these. So we don't have enough, so they all refresh. And we should do the full test because we want to put them on here. Like this gains us something and this gains us something. So we want at least 2 dice. And that would gain us something. So I think we want all 3 of these. Okay, let's see what we've got. 2 blanks, but we're still allowed to put them on cards if we wanted to. And an hourglass. So I'm definitely going to put the hourglass here. And both of these get us boosts. So I guess I am going to fill these up. It's just, this is actually a strategic decision because putting them here helps us, but it uses up those spots for a future test that would be more important than these. But I think we should take the benefits while we've got them. So 2 boosts come out. But it means we should probably stay away from this action for a bit. Okay, we've activated the device. A beam of bright light bursts from the top of the rune caster. Nothing happens for a few minutes. for a few minutes, then a sentient appears. I saw your signal. How can I help? They ask. They're not available to travel with you, but they offer a package of food, gain 1 health, and some moral support, gain 1 morale. Well, I mean, that's health. Our morale is maxed up. It says whenever you would gain above this, gain a random skill. So we're going to give ourselves a random skill, which happens to be the yellow take skill. Okay, so I mean, not kind of boring. Didn't do much for us, this thing, but it looks like it's a rune caster. So now when we see a diamond, we'll know it's a rune caster. That might be useful for us. Now, we can't do any more of these, so it's time to move along. I guess we're going to keep going south, right? Why does my nose look red? Okay. So we have to move along. I guess we're going to go south again, right? Isn't that our plan? To head straight south till we hit that city wall. So let's go back to the storybook, navigate on card 348. This is probably going to lose us another health in the desert, but now we know to call for help. Okay, here we go. 348. Depart south. Scale the city wall to the south. Well, that's what we're in for. I didn't know we were going to have to scale the wall. But this could hurt us quite a bit. We have no place to put these. But all right, we're in. This is what we're in for. So let's see what we rolled. Wow, 2 hearts, a time, and a nothing. So let's put the nothing here. One of the hearts we can put here. These we're going to have to suffer. I really don't want to have to suffer this. But I guess I don't want to have to re-roll both of those. I guess we knew this is what we were in for. All right. Down it goes. We need to get better at moving. Maybe in the city we'll be able to do better. Okay, so we've scaled the city wall to the south. Let's see what happens. On the other side of the wall is an ancient city. Go to 784. Okay, well, we found a city, which is very cool. They are not that easy to come by. Let's see what city this is. We definitely haven't been here before. It's like a desert city. Let's see what it is. Looming over the canopy are the ruins of an ancient building. The path there is elevated and narrow, but you might be nimble enough to balance across it. Wow, it's a move test. This is exactly what we're bad at. Well, I think the first thing we need to do is take a break. I'll see you in 8 minutes. Give some thought about what you'd like us to do. I'll see you then. All right. we find ourselves in a strange situation where we've scaled the city walls. I can't tell if this... Well, it's not deserted. There's little smokestacks rising up. So this city is not deserted. It's full of people, full of creatures, sentience. However, it's telling us that there's an elevated path, narrow. You might be nimble enough to balance across it. Now, let me show you the problem with this plan. The problem with this plan is, look at our character. We're this old scholar. Like, we should not be trying to be nimble. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like, you know, this character is not the kind of person who's nimble. And it's not just thematically, it's mechanically we are bad at that movement. But what else would we do? Whisper? Why would we whisper? Build? What are we going to build? A ladder down? Loot it? It just doesn't seem right. Jonathan says, I'm for scan, which might lead to a continue, or whisper, which seems thematic in an ancient abandoned city. Like, are we whispering down to some people? Seems like an easy test, at least, whisper. Just don't know why we would do it. I think we scan. We're better at scanning. It's more thematically appropriate for our character, and it's hard to justify doing things that seem like there's no reason to do them. So let's do the scan action. We're good at scanning too. We're going to scan 784, and it seems logical. Okay, so it's a 4 test. We have 2 places to put dice. Plus 1 generic one, but I'd rather not refresh yet. So I'm going to spend this so that we're down to a 3 test and we have 3 dice to roll. I think that's smarter. Okay, so that's reasonably good for us. So these can go here, and this heart can go here, which actually gets us another boost. Which is soon going to get us upgraded, which is what we want. Okay, that worked well for us. Let's see what we see. You identify a barrel among the rubble, gain 1 boost and 1 overpower. And go to the interior. All right, so we got a boost on our card, which is good. This lets us get some money and re-rolls. And an overpower token, which we're building enough of them up that we could do a fight soon. And we're in the city. So that was a little... Probably no matter what we did, we would end up in the city. All right, this is kind of exciting that we are in a new city. Is this how it always goes? You get like something, one action you can do outside the city, and then bang, you're in the city? This looks similar to a city we've been in before, but different. The sounds of the city reach you from below as you enter the ancient ruins. So we saw that barrel. And it's got the overpower thing on it. What did it say? You identify a barrel. So look at this weirdness. It says you identify a barrel. Like, we didn't do anything with it. It's just telling us that we've identified a barrel. I guess, oh, maybe there was maybe it's that there are multiple ways to get into the city, and this way we see a barrel. I also see like jars here, maybe some medicine. And that's got the take icon. But these look empty. But look at this magic staff here. Huh. I see some fruits up here or something too. All right, so we have to make a decision here, but we're in a city, so we can probably keep doing these? I mean, we spotted that barrel. It seems like we should do the barrel first. We're going to shove the barrel? Really? There could be someone hiding in that ready to attack us, though. I mean... All right, well, we're not scaling this. We're bad at this action. It feels like trading might be a nice thing to do. If we traded, we'd have our things back. But are we going to get to do multiple of these? Why don't we trade first? Let's trade whoever wants to trade with us. I don't love any of this, really. We could sell the gem. Yes, we could sell the gem. Okay, we're going to trade. We're going to trade. So we're going to do the trade action on card 548. Yeah. Okay, it's a 2 trade test with a hidden occupant of the ruins for an item. Maybe they're hiding in the barrel. Oh, this in this ruins, everyone's hiding. Okay, so it's a 2 test. What we're going to do is we have no dice here. We could just pay for it, but no, we want these spaces. So we're going to refresh everything. And now we may be able to get more boost. So it's a 2 test. Okay, where do we want to put these? We want another boost here, but we don't have a heart. But we want this most of all. I'm going to put this here and this here. That gets us a boost on this. For 2, we can get our personal objective. That's our #1 goal. So we're going to be able to do this soon. In fact, we're able to do this whenever we want. And we have succeeded in here. Oh, we need to redo these too. Yes, thank you. Okay. But that worked out well for us. We could have put it here. We could put this here to get another boost cube here. Maybe we should. But this gives us more flexibility if we do this again. I feel like we're going to do this again. So I'm going to leave this like this. All right, so we paid to, let's see what we've got. A shy sentient emerges from behind a pillar. Choose one. We can spend a few minutes chatting with the sentient, making them feel clever. We can pay $3 to buy a barrel. Pay $5 to buy acid or $12 to buy the magic wand. We cannot afford any of those. So we're just going to spend a few minutes chatting. I hope that doesn't lose us a time. Gain 1 morale. You may also sell them 1 card to gain its value. There we go. So morale, unfortunately, morale is the one thing we don't really need. So we just gain a random skill instead, which is another overpower. We may have to just steal this stuff, fight this sentient, since we have so many overpowers. Now, do we want to sell this crystal? I'm hesitant to sell it. I'll tell you why. Because it gives us such a good place to put these oranges. I don't really want to sell this, and I don't want to sell our notebook. Although we could do this to use this, and then maybe we don't need the notebook anymore. But it's the only place to put this. I don't really want to do this. I think we're done here. Anyway, it says trade. I guess we could keep doing this. It seems a shame to not sell this, but 7 and 2 places, it's not worth it, I don't think. So I think we're just going to move along from here and do a new item. I think we're better off. I think we're going to have to go fight in this ruins. He wants to sell us $3 for a barrel. There could be some good stuff in that barrel, but I don't like any of this. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to keep, maybe we just loot and find ourselves a vial of acid on our own. Assemble, I don't know what that's about. Shove the barrel. All right, I'm angry at this guy. I'm going to shove his barrel. I think that's the only thing to do here. But maybe we want to get that wand, a magic wand. It's $12. Let's try to see if we can't get this on our own. We can't do any more actions? I thought the city you can do as many as you want. I don't know. I think, does the city normally tell you when you can do more? And if it doesn't tell you, you can't? Let me just look at this again. I feel like most cities you can do multiple actions, but yeah, it may tell you if you can. Maybe we're not in a city, we're just in the ruins. It says the sounds of the city reach you from below. So we're in the ruins, but we're not in the city, but it's a vertical card, which is almost always used for cities. So this is a little confusing, I must admit. I feel like in the other cities it told us when we could do multiple actions, right? So if it doesn't tell us, that we can do multiple actions, should we assume we can't? The problem that's so confusing is that it's a vertical card. Trying to remember what the previous city looked like. Well, surely it would tell us if we were allowed multiple actions. So we've learned a lesson. We could have gotten a nice magic wand or a nice sword. Instead, we tried to trade with this guy. And now we're out of luck. But maybe we can go down into the city to the south. Okay, let's try that, Jonathan. Let's try that. So we're going to leave here. That was a real mess. I guess if I didn't want to sell that gem, I shouldn't have tried to trade. We should have just stolen that wand. That's a new lesson. From now on, we're stealing when we need something. All right, we're departing from 548. Hopefully this is going to let us balance out. That's exactly where I didn't want to go with this old man. All right, this may be a game where we fall and die, but here we go. It's a 3 test. But we have very little place to put these 3 die, but we've already decided to do it, so here we go. All right, so that's what we roll. This goes here. This cannot go here, so we have to take it. This one we'll put back here. No other place to put this one. So off it goes, and we lose a time. That old man had to walk very slowly across the... You realize that the walkway may actually be a wall, but it's too late to turn back. Go to 784. Love it. We're walking on the wall. It's not a walkway, it's a wall. 784. What? It sent us here. How could that be? Well, this is when we have our house rule. When it goes in the wrong direction, we just ignore it. But so I'm going to give us back that time and put these two back here. We're going to undo that action. But I don't understand what this game wants of us, how to get into the city. The sounds of the city reach you from below. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to call it audible here, and we're going to shove this barrel and see if maybe we can ride it down or something. I'm going to shove this barrel to get out our aggression. So I'm going to do this overpower shove on card 548. We'll see if we can't ride it down somehow. It's a 4 shove. Shove an item out of the ruins. Ugh, I have a feeling they're not going to be happy down below. All right, but we've done it. It's a 4. I'm going to spend... In fact, I'm going to spend all 3 of these because we have no place to put these overpower things. So I'm spending 3 to roll 1. Okay, it's an hourglass. That's terrible. No other place to put an hourglass. All right, let's see what happens. A heavy barrel sits in the middle of the ruin, so you shove it onto its side and prepare to roll it away. Gain item 1158. I guess maybe we're going to change our mind about it. 1158. Looks like we changed our mind and decided to keep the barrel. It's an item. It's a beverage. When placed, we get 3 boosts, and then we can spend a boost to put a star, spend a boost to put a talk die, and we do that 3 times, and it's worth $3. We could have sold this for $3, but I'm going to put this up here. Okay, we are not having a terrifically exciting mission here. 1 place 3. Okay, so for 3 uses, we can put more of these tokens. But what? We're done here now? All right, we're back to where we were before. Now we gotta leave. We could have grabbed that magic wand, but instead I insisted on the barrel. All right, now where are we going? We're not going south because that's what got us in trouble to begin with. We don't want to go north, so I guess we're going west or east, but we want to go down out of the... Doesn't it look like north is to the city? I guess I want to go west. 778. We haven't been there, at least. I'm going to go west. Oh, what happened to our tablet? Feels like my tablet is freaking out a bit. Let's see if we can... Oh, it's definitely freaking out. I mean, that's not good for us. We need to play this game. Has it run out of power? Just reset it, so... The good news is there's only 10 people viewing. The bad news is I'd rather not have to use the books, but we could use the books if we need to. All right, I'm just waiting for this It's like the whole world has come crashing down on us. The tablet's also confused about where we are. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, it's always good to learn how to play manually. Okay, so if we wanted to... Oh, we don't need to use the tablet to move, do we? We're just going west, 778. So it's a 1 navigation move. It's a setback, so it just goes right back in here. Guess we can use this view if we're not going to use the tablet. Okay, setback came back into the dice pool, and we go west to 778. Looks like maybe the tablet is back. It's not out of power, it just rebooted. Okay, 778. Let's see what we've got. All right, so we did not enter the city, but we're looking at the city from a different angle. The blossoming tree gives the pavilion the aroma of sweet fruit. I am feeling not particularly generous to this city that we somehow cannot figure out how to get into. I don't know why that is. Why should we have such a hard time figuring out how to get into the city? Well, we just can't do these blue climbs, but I think... Entertain who? All right, we're going to entertain people and just try to get them to come out of their houses so that they can invite us in. I think that's the only thing. Or we could consume this tree. All right, what do you want to do? Do you want to consume a fruit on this tree, or do you want to entertain the people below with some juggling or something? It feels like maybe we should just eat this tree, but we're just much better at entertaining. Have I done my mistake like I've done before? I mean, I have gotten us lost in the past through no fault of the game. We got to here. Instead of balancing, we continued going south. So we went to 783. Maybe I did break it. Is that what I did? We got here. Let's back up a second. We got here. We got to 7. We got here. And we decided we're not going to go across it. We're going to scan it. Let me just repeat this to make sure I didn't make this game mistake. So if we scan, let me just make sure I didn't make a mistake. I did scan from 784. We scanned the ruins. We found a barrel. And then it told us to go to 548, which is this. So maybe the idea is that we should then have... This was like a little alcove. So then we can choose to leave here and either leave here back to this view of the city or leave to go to this view of the city. We go south, but when we did that, we ended up right back out there. Then we tried the balance action and it sent us on the wall. Is that right? Yeah, we tried to... Or did we walk south? I just don't understand why. Just don't understand. I guess we never... Okay, so... I'm confused. What have I done? So we went to an alcove. We scanned and we found an alcove prior to entering the city. That makes sense, which is here. And then we can leave here. And we could leave here to go to this area, which is somehow still outside the city. And if we go east, we end here again. And if we go west, we go here. So how do we get ourselves into the city? Is it 783? Is that where we want to go to get into the city? I don't know why it's making it so hard for us. Here is 783. It looks like we're in the city, but are we? Or are we just south of the city? What the freaking hell? How do we get into the city? I don't understand it. We're looking at it. We can't get into it. Well, that's not what we want. Here. Or here. Okay. Let's just back up to this for a second. The path is elevated and narrow. Is this what we want to do to get into the city? Is the only way to get into the city to do this action? Is that it? Jonathan says, I think the star action from 548, which we took, acted like we were on a wall and sent us back to here. It sounded like those were two reverse things. So maybe the only way to get into the city is to do this action, this balance action. It's just, I thought that's what we did. I thought that's how we got back and forth to the ruins. All right, I'm going to try this because I'm confused about this other one. I want to get into the city. I'm going to try this balance action. If it doesn't bring us into the city, I'm going to abort it. Even though we shouldn't be doing balance actions, we are going to try that. So we're going to do the navigate. Or, sorry, we're going to do the move action from card 784, which should have us balancing towards the city? To the ruins. No, we don't want to go to the ruins. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That is what it seemed like. What is this nonsense? Just gonna see where this wants us to go. 584. So yeah, it's going both ways got us to these ruins. So we definitely do not want to balance. All right, so we're back on where we were before. We tried to figure out how to make that go into the city. It wouldn't, so we're here. We're here, but we could go east around the city too. Somehow we're not able to get down into the city, but maybe this climb action is for going down. Do you think we can climb down into the city now? A lot of effort to get into the city. I think climb is for the tree. So you think it's going up, not down? This is so weird. You think the north gets us into the city now? It's so weird because this whole city was south. All we know is it's not east. That's how we came. It does look like north is the city. All right, let's try going north. I mean, why not? We've tried everything else. So we're going to do the depart action on card 778. We should have 3 choices. We do. And we're going to try going north. You sure you don't want to do something first? If we're going to move along, maybe we should do one of these first. In fact, our health is pretty bad. I'm going to consume one of these apples before we do this. I'm going to go ahead and eat an apple and see what happens. I'm going to do a consume on 778. I'm just going to eat their apples. Consume a fallen fruit. Okay, this sounds bad. We can choose how many to do. We don't have any good place to put these. So let's just do a 1 test. And I'll spend this to do it so we don't have to roll anything. Okay. The fruit looks good on the outside. As you take a risky bite, roll X dice. If the results include at least 1 help, gain this item and 1 health. Otherwise, lose 1 health and gain 1 boost. Okay, so I only did 1, so we're only going to roll 1 die. Roll 1 dice. Okay. All right, we didn't get a help, so we don't gain this nice item, and we don't get a health. Instead, we lose a health, but we gain a boost. Now, I could have re-rolled that. I could have re-rolled that a bunch of times if we think that item is so important, but 1 out of 6 chance, it's not worth it, I think. Let's just take the boost instead. Although we could use the health. All right, instead of doing this, I'm going to re-roll a couple times. Okay, here's 1 re-roll. Okay, that was an overpower. I can't keep doing this. The odds are not good for us. All right. I'm just going to stop. Lose the health. Did I already make us lose it? Did I already make us lose this health? Or did I reset it back when I decided to re-roll? All right, you'll let me know. But so far, this game is not going so well for us. All right, I tried to consume it. It didn't work. Now we have to go down. So we are navigating away. 7, 7, 8. And Jonathan thinks north gets us into the city. You're going to tell me if I forgot to move this down for this action. And let's hope we can get into the city. Health should be at 2. Thank you. All right, let's see what happens. It's a 3 test to go north out of the city. This game. Why does this keep happening to us with this game? The movement around this place is a travesty. Of course we don't want to go out of the city. We're trying to get into the city. Is it not a city like the other cities? If we go south, is that how we ended up? Are we going to end up back in one of our old places if we go south instead? All right, we're going to go south instead. I don't know why. It looks like it's north. We could keep going west instead. I mean, where's our map of this place? I mean, here's our map. If we're in this city, let's look at this for a second. If we're in this city now, we could go west to go here, or we go east to get to this stuff. But east goes to 784. That's where we were before. We could continue east, though, and get to this crazy stuff. But we don't really want to go this way. This way's death. We want to go this way. There's some boats there. I think we just got to keep going west. Maybe. I don't think there's any... I mean, this looks like the capital city south. All right, I'm going to try to go south, and if it kicks us out of the city again, then we'll come back and go west. Let's tap to reveal as if we're going south. Let's see what it says. It says, hike south toward a building on a hill. That doesn't really sound like a city, but it does sound like a new place. Hopefully it's not the ruins. All right, let's go ahead and hike south. Well, this could kill us right away because we are not good at moving. But we're going to do it. Here we go. We're hiking south. Okay, this goes here. Can we do anything with this? No. We are almost dead. This has been a rough game. All right, here we go. You push through ornamental foliage and see the entrance to a grand building on the hill. Choose one. Pay one move, which we don't have, so we can't go in. Hold on. We could generate a move. Okay. We can spend these 2 boosts to generate a move. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to generate this move, and then we're going to pay this move to go into this damn building. And it better be worth it. Go to interior, 583. Thank God it's not the ruins. Boy, we are on death's door here. This scholar does not know what he's doing. But we are inside this building at least. You find yourself in the audience of the Council of Elders. Whoa. Whoa. The Council of Elders? Look at these creatures here. Look, there's a radio headset. Something of looks like some symbols and maps. There's a package. All right, well, we're not doing this evade action, that's for sure. But we could try to listen in the headset. We could try to commune with them. We could aid them, steal from them, or raid them. Well, we've spent all our overpower, although this might have been a nice place to do it. But we are in very good shape to commune, so I think we should commune with this Council of Elders. We're good at it. In fact, hold on a second. Let's do this right now for 2. Before we start communing with the elders, we can do this right now to gain our first personal objective if we care about doing this game. So let's spend these 2 boosts right now. This stays on here. Let's gain 1611. Do we still have any chance of accomplishing our personal objective? It seems very unlikely. But let's see what our personal objective is. 1611. Consult with the Traveler. If you consult with the Traveler, read 1611 in the Book of Secrets. Maybe that's all we have to do is find the Traveler. Well, communing with the elders seems like that might be a way to get in contact with the Traveler. Or just listen for him. But I feel like this is going to listen to our people. And maybe these people will have us deliver this to someone. Okay, consult with the Traveler. So keep your eye open for the Traveler. Look for him in the background. Okay, so that's our personal objective we've now gotten hold of. If we could get one more boost, we'd upgrade our skills. That would sure be nice. All right, I think we should commune with these people. Similar age, the elders, and we're the elder. It's true, we are an elder, they're elders. Okay, we're communing with the elders. This is kind of exciting. I'm excited again. I'm back involved with this game. Now that we've found a way into this building. Okay, so we're communing on card 583. Inside this building, I don't want to leave here. I'm ready to die here, so we don't have to navigate around this city. Commune with the council for 6. Wow, that's a big, hard test. But we are in very good shape for it. We're not talking, but we've got there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 places to put these and 2 tokens. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend our 2 tokens because we're about to die. We're not going to die holding on to these. And now we roll 4. Okay, let's see what we got here. Wow, 3 hearts. That's pretty bad. We may have to re-roll some of them. Okay, we're going to put 1 heart here, which gets us a boost. And we're going to put 1 time, that's even worse, here. Oh no, we can put 1 time there, okay. We can put 1 heart here, which gets us a boost. All right, that's not so bad. And then we could pay a boost to put a star, but we have no place to put a heart, and we really don't want to lose that heart. So I'm going to spend 1 to re-roll this. If it's the same, it is the same. So instead we get this. We could try to re-roll that again. I really don't like this. I don't know if it's worth re-rolling it just to do that. I'm just going to eat it because it's not like it can get that much better. All right, so we've paid for this test. We've communed with the council. It wasn't easy. Let's see what they have to say. You present a case for your homeworld to open official diplomatic relations with this planet. Gain item 891 and exit to 777. Okay, we've tried to ask them to open 891, huh? What is that? 891 is this device. It's a universal translator. It's only worth $7. On the other hand, we can craft a more advanced version of it. Gain the War Helm. What the heck? And look, we can use this to generate money. We should bring the elders. You bring up to the elders that the city could use some better directional symbols. Yes, we certainly should. Okay, so we got this universal translator, which is worth $7 and can be turned into money. But what else happened? It's also kicking us out to 777, which we haven't seen yet. So then yet another way out of this place, 777. I don't really understand. Here we are again outside the city. A security sentry. Oh no, not a security. A sentry circles the grand structure at the end of the path. I don't think we want to mess with this guy. We don't have enough health to get into a fight. Could try to sneak back, but we could translate now that we have the universal translator. The universal translator actually says that when we try to do a translate action, we can put any die there and we get a cube. So I wonder if we should be trying to translate. I mean, we're okay at translating, But what is he going to tell us? He's going to tell us how to get into his building, which we already went in there. But it gets us a cube, so I think we should translate. All right, I'm going to try translating. It's a, what is this are these the people that are the, that stole from the wind sentience? Like, doesn't that look like the hideout? Were we in the hideout? Was the Council of Elders the thieves that stole from the wind sentience? Let's just take a look at that. Take a look at that symbol, and now look at this. Find the hideout in the foggy mountains in the far southeast. I guess we kind of went southwest, so I guess this isn't them. But these may be the same creatures. But I don't think we're in the hideout. I don't think I thought maybe these Council of Elders were the robbers, but I don't think so. All right, we're going to translate these people. I think he's just going to say, here's the Council of Elders. So I have a feeling we're not going to be happy about this. In fact, we might die here, but let's just see what happens. Maybe we can get out of this. Translate the markings on the path. Okay, so it says a 3 test. We have 2 places we can put any die. So actually, we're in pretty good shape here. And we're going to have to reset. I guess that's good. Okay, so we're going to have to refresh everything. That does give us a couple more options. We don't have any tokens for this, but a 3 test is not so bad. Okay, so 2 that do nothing and 1 star. We may actually, however, I think we actually want to put these on a card because we want this one, which would give us a boost here, which is going to let us upgrade. And we want this one because it's going to get us a boost here so that we can use the universal translator. All right, that worked out pretty well for us. Let's read what the markings say. Clear signage in several languages seems to indicate that the council here includes representatives from 12 different cultures. People attend the council meetings either as members of the audience, the sentry should be able to tell you more about attending, or as a speaker, which requires a formal offer of assistance. Gain either 1 engage or 1 help, and then you can continue. I mean, it is as we said. I guess we're going to take the help, since that's the thing we're not so good at. But we can continue, so we could do more actions on this card, but we've just been back from talking to the elders. I feel like everything here is about getting in. So I don't think we want to do this. I think we want to leave here. But I'll tell you what we'll do before we mess with any of that. Let's upgrade this. So if full, at the end of turn, you must lose this card, gain a look and a help, and then replace your character with 1443. Okay, so the good news is we are upgrading our character. We've managed to get some hard-fought upgrades. So we are turning, and this guy turns. So we're turning this card. This was how we started, with that band-aid on our forehead, and we're turning him into this. He's like Don Quixote. Look at him now. He's a character survivor. Emmeline, the scholar, still got the same name, but look at this. He knows how to ignore cold damage. Now we could go to the mountains. So the changed ability is reroll 1 of your dice until the result changes. Or we can switch actions after learning the cost. Or we can swap reserved item. That's for a boost cube. And now you can't do the master anymore, but you could buy and equip. And these are better up here too. Okay, that's pretty cool that we upgraded him into his Don Quixote. We have a boost on it. This is done. Now we could go up those cold mountains if we wanted to. The bad news is, let's see. Okay, so we lost this card. These go off it. All right, and this gets refreshed, unfortunately. All right, so so let's take a look at what we can do. We can leave here. We could go up to those mountains, but if you look at this board, just so that we are on the same page, we could spend 7 to turn this into an amulet, reduce the cost by 1 per thing. So probably we want to wait till this is a little more full up. We could do this, though. We could craft a more advanced item, the War Helm. I feel like we might be able to pull this off. I wonder if this is like to declare war on these elders. John says, maybe if we climbed the tree, we would have gotten a map of the city. I don't know. I think the city is crazy, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure that was going to work for us. We could just try to find the traveler, but I feel like we're going to die soon. We could help people out a bit. I mean, do you want... It is tempting to try to do one of these just because we have 3 of these tokens. On the other hand, this is the one that actually we could, if we can pull this off. Let's do a couple more of these engages. And then we'll be able to do this at a cost we can pretty much afford. I think we have to leave here, though. Unfortunately, we have to roll a die to get out of here. But I think we go south again, 776. We haven't been there, right? No, we have been. Have we been to 776? If not, why is it not? It's out. Oh, it's the other side of this card. Okay, I think we should go south from here and try to get out of this city and head south or west. South, I think we go. All right, here we go. We're walking south. Okay, that's not the right die. Okay, it's a time. This will kill us if we don't change it. We have no place to put it, so we're going to spend this to re-roll it until it changes. So that's a blank. Okay, good. So we've gone south, 776. Now, I got some good news for you. The good news is that what we need to progress on our personal goal is to consult with the traveler and look. Here we are talking to the traveler. This garment shop is famous for the type of warm attire you might wear to the east and cold attire you might wear to the west. Warm you might wear, right. Okay, so we could try to trade for a coat, winter coat, but we're already got a winter coat. We already know how to deal with cold, so we don't care about that. But we do care about this. And in case you're not following, this icon means you're talking to the traveler. So I don't know, somehow he's just like appearing out of nowhere trying to sell us clothing. Like, really? The alien from another planet who's mysterious is concerned with clothing sales? He's like a tailor? All right, but we don't care about that. We're like, never mind your clothing. We got more important business to talk about. Let's read 1611 in the Book of Secrets. Did I forget to give us some benefits? Feels like I might have. Okay, so Book of Secrets 1611. All right, here we go. This is exciting. Your first love was a girl in the elevator of your apartment complex. She smiled at you. You smiled back and said hello. When she replied in a different language, you repeated her version of the greeting until she nodded in approval. Every time you saw her in the elevator, you tried out a new word or phrase, always wanting to say more or extend the conversation. But it always ended when she slowly got off at the 322nd floor, lingering in case you had something to add, but you didn't have the confidence. Lose objective 1611, gain a morale, and objective 1617. Wow, we keep gaining morale, which is maxed out at us. So, okay, let's give ourselves the random icon, which is move. That's good. I don't mind that. We made some progress here. Instead, now we have 1617, and we're getting like senile and thinking about this girl we knew in our apartment building. Are we going to somehow be able to meet her, or what? Is he just learning to get over his memories? Okay, so we lost that objective, and we gained this one. If you have an ability card, read 1617 in the Book of Secrets. Well, we do have an ability card. We absolutely do. Dancing. We know how to dance. So we're already going to advance this. 1617 in the Book of Secrets. Okay, here we go. 1617. Because we know how to dance, we're able to advance this. Okay, so we're somehow relying on our ability to dance. These go here? No, you can't see them up there. Okay, we're relying on our ability to dance to advance this objective. Have an ability. We're progressing our personal growth. Okay, here we go. Your brush with young love was the catalyst for you to soak in new languages. You were driven to engage with other people from different cultures, backgrounds, and planets. Fortunately, your apartment complex was a melting pot of people from around the galaxy, so you had an abundance of opportunities. Despite your linguistic aptitude and a wide spectrum of friends, you still struggle with the confidence to make romantic connections. Rotate this card and add it to your grid. Then gain objective 1623. Now, the thing is, we have this universal translator. It seems like that would be what he would want. I wonder if we're going to get lucky enough to connect the two. All right, but here's what's cool. This is I think this may be the first time this has happened, when it's told us to take this and rotate it and put it into our grid. So it's actually getting into our possessions because we've progressed on this, and now we can put any morale up here. Unfortunately, with morale is the one we don't really care about. But then it's telling us to take another objective, 1623. I really wonder if this universal translator isn't going to be what he really wants. It's not what he wants, but it is something we've kind of seen before. Court a sentient. This is your final objective. If you flirt with a sentient and they reciprocate, read 1623. So it is the thing we're good at, but this is what our guy wants. The scholar wants to fall in love. Okay, so this goes up here. This is the goal we want to achieve. This is what we're going for. We do have a gem that we could give to court sentient, but where are we going to find a sentient to court? If they like dancing, that's good, but I don't know if we're going to live to court a sentient, and we were just in the Counts of Elders, and there was no option to flirt with them. Ah, garment shop, huh? Where are we going to find a sentient to court with, to flirt with? I mean, we are in a city. It seems like this would be a good place to find one. Well, I'll tell you what. We know where that wind sentient is, but he didn't really want to flirt with us, did he? We could trade. We have some stuff that's worth money now. We have this universal translator. We have a barrel, but we don't really want clothing. I guess I'm inclined to just leave here, but I just don't feel like we're going to find someone to flirt with at this market. I think we might be better off heading west out of the city to the boats. Maybe there'll be people down here at the boats that will flirt with us. Seems like there's another city over here, or this is part of the same city, maybe. But maybe it's a sentient we have to flirt with, right? It's not like, I'm not sure the people in the cities are sentients. I don't think we want to flirt with this guy. We could try to go up into the cold since we have that jacket. And maybe, you know, I know it sounds a little crazy, but hear me out. Hear me out here. I've seen a bunch of Westerns and other movies where people are navigating cold, treacherous areas. And my experience has been in those movies that the women have a little bit of lower standards. Like, they're like, you got some clothing, you got warmth, you can make a fire, we'll settle down and get married. Like, it's not that they have lower standards, it's that they're looking for some warmth and companionship to survive. That's what it is. To survive dangerous area, you can't be so picky. It's not the women, the men. Both people, they have to. They're happy just to have a companion to help them in the rough wilderness. So maybe it's time for us to head into the mountains and find a mountain sentient that appreciates our ability to handle the cold. Jonathan wants to explore the city. I don't even know how to get out of this city, Jonathan. But I guess we could go west and we would be more in the city. But that's the opposite direction of the snow. All right, let's take a break. Jonathan, when we come back, you decide where we go. We can either go further west, deeper into the city, or we can backtrack to the cold mountains and try to find a mountain woman to flirt with. Either way could work. I'll see you in 8 minutes. 1:33 a.m. here, Tuesday, November 11th. We've been playing for 2.5 hours. Jonathan says, west to the city, see if we hit the docks. Okay. So we're going west and deeper into the city, we think, although for all we know, we're going to be on the west and leave the city. Let me show you this cool thing I just printed out. I've been using my 3D printer a little bit more. Look at this little checklist thing. You can slide these over. You can slide new things in, print them out. All right. Well. All right. So we're going west. The traveler's like, I'm an alien from another planet. Would you like to buy some clothes? And I'm like, no big deal. We're moving on. We have a universal translator. We should be talking to you, but we got other stuff to worry about. So we're going 770. That would be a movement of 1. We are on death's door. So rather than die with this left over, we're just going to spend this right away to succeed at our travel to 770. And let's see what we find. Okay, well, we're not in the city, but we sure enough did find the docks. The harbor waters gently lap against an unattended sailboat. Now, let me point out that we could use some health, but we don't really have time to fish, and we're not good at fishing. We don't have that overpower thing. I'm afraid if we get in that sailboat, we may need to do a lot of steering and navigating, which we are very bad at. We could try to trade again and hope that the person selling the sailboat wants to flirt with us, but that seems unlikely. And we're not really good at looting. In fact, we're very bad at looting, so I would be hesitant to try to steal from this boat that we have nothing. Spy? Could we do spy? Are we any good at spying? Not really. I mean, we've got one purple place to put things. One place to put this. Really what we're good at is the orange. We're actually very good at the orange. So I wonder if we shouldn't do that just to... What's the worst that can happen with trade? I mean, we could put so many things here. Okay, let's do trade. Let's do trade. Just because we can basically put all our dice here and benefit us. All right, so we're going to try a trade action. Just because it feels like nothing can go wrong at this point. 770, and maybe the person who wants to trade with us is willing to flirt. 770. Flirt, which is called trade, not flirt. Okay, so it's for trade for the boat, which we don't have to... Last time we got a boat, you could walk around with the boat on your back. It's a 4. We have 1 token, but we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places we could put these. So it feels like we could probably do a 4 test straight out without paying any token. Let's just try it. Okay, so the hourglass we can put right here. The heart we can put here, which gets us another boost. And the other 2 we could put anywhere we want, but we could put one here just to get a boost. I'm tempted to do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Just because we don't have that many more dice to roll. So that gets us a token here that we could use to re-roll, and a token here that we could just change into $1 right now. And we might be able to turn this into an amulet very cheaply soon. Okay, so we've succeeded. Let's see what happens. The vessel's owner is hesitant to part with their prized possession, but they agree to sell it to you for $10. Choose one. Pay $10. All right, well, we don't have $10, so we're not going to pay. They seem relieved. They love this boat. Instead, they offer to accompany you. Oh my God, we are going to be able to flirt with this person and dance with them. They're joining us on a journey because we couldn't buy the boat. They were going to sail with us. This is... We might do this mission yet. We might give this scholar his ending yet. Whoa. You thought this was going to be a human sailboat guy? Look at this sentient. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at that creature. These are the creatures that live in the city. Okay, so as soon as he comes out, he gets 2 boosts on him. All right. And he's of this creature type. That's not the wind creatures. These are some different slimy jellyfish creatures with this big round head. Now, let me point out, the Duel is that card game that we hate, so we're not going to be doing that. Look at what he lets you do. He lets you spend his boost to ignore... Pay X skills matching the current. I think you still have to have the skill tokens, but he lets you use your skill tokens after you roll. That's pretty great. He's also good at creating things. He's good at navigating. That's amazing how good he is at navigating because he's a sailboat guy. But most importantly for us is we can flirt with him and have a relationship. And we could also dance with him. Okay, so, but we keep him until we spend all these. All right, so let's put him in our grid. Okay, here he is now. Looks like we could keep him almost indefinitely. We could swindle him out of some money, but we don't want to do that. We want to marry him. Now, here is the question I have for you. I mean, we really are almost dead here, so it makes sense to do this sooner rather than later. We are here, so we could move along. We could also try to dance with him. The problem with dancing is we're really bad at this skill. And the best we get from this is morale, which we don't need any of. So I don't think we should be dancing. The real question is, do we want to flirt with him and end the game now? Or do we want to try to learn about him first? The problem is if we try to learn a little bit about his life, like talk to him, which makes sense, we could end up dying. We've got a place to put a morale, but we don't really care about morale. Got a place to put an hourglass, but we could easily end up dead. We don't know how much it takes to learn about him, but it could be easy. We do have 1 reroll. You could argue that we should try to make this amulet to give, I guess it's a her, to give her an amulet before we flirt. Jonathan says, it depends on whether you want to reset the dice pool. I think that's a good point, although I think that we're likely to get a test of more than 3, which would let us reset. But it's a good point that it might make sense to do this first, so to guarantee we reset the dice pool. If we did this first to give the amulet as a wedding present, we would have to do 7, 6, 5. We'd have to do a 5 test, which we'd use this to bring it down to a 2 test, but that could still kill us. Sort of depends on, I mean, we know, wink, wink, we know that if these hit 0, we will have one more shot at this. So I guess in an ideal world, I'd like to learn a little bit about this creature and then give it this amulet. Well, his sight is not so good anymore, Jonathan. He sees this creature and he sees the girl from the elevator. We do have the universal translator, so we can talk to her. I think we should try to get this person an amulet to give to her before we flirt. So I think we should do this. It's a bit risky, a bit unnecessary perhaps, but I want to do it. I want to give this creature an amulet. So we're going to refine this gem into an amulet. I think story-wise it makes the most sense. So it's going to be a 7 test, but we're going to take 2 and 3. So that'll reduce it by 5. We still have a 2 test. So that's a 2 test. And where can I put stuff for a green test? Nowhere. These won't help anyway. All right, so we might end up with 0, but let's see what happens. Okay, so we did it. We succeeded. This goes here. This goes here. We have turned this gem into an amulet. 1174. Look at this amulet that we have got to give to this creature. We could turn it into a ring. Oh my God, it's like a wedding ring, but we cannot afford to do that. It's a citrian amulet. We can refine it into a ring. I know that creature wants a ring. I just don't see how we can afford to buy this thing a ring. The only way we made it into an amulet is because we had all these tokens. Without these tokens, we don't have any chance. Is this thing going to marry us even without a ring? Let's hope so. All right, so now I have a question for you before we propose. I guess we're not proposing, we're just asking it out on a date. Now, so here's my only question for you before we do this. Should we try to learn about this creature before we flirt with it? We are not that well set up for this, but we do have 1 purple token. And we have 1 place to put a purple hourglass and 1 place to put, in fact, we can eat however many of these we want. It doesn't really matter. So And we have one reroll. So what do you think? Do we learn about it before we give it this amulet and try to flirt, or should we just flirt? It feels like we're a scholar. We should try to learn about it, right? Even though it's risky. It feels like we got to learn about it. We can't just ask this thing out on a date without knowing anything about it. All right, we're going to try to learn about it. Here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Card number 1341. We are doing the... I guess you don't need all that. Well, okay. 1341. Here we are. We are going to try to learn about this creature. I'm a little nervous, but we know we'll get another chance if some things go really wrong. Here we go. Casey says, if you're on a date, you're going to want to be talking about topics of interest to Iggy. Show you're interested for the personality, not just the looks. That's a good point. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. It's a 3 learn. Learn from the sentience expertise. She better not leave after she teaches us. Okay, it's a 3 test. That's good. That's good. Now, we could... we could use this token. So let's talk about this for a second. We could use this token to reduce her to a 2 test, but then we have enough dice. If instead we do a 3 test, we could take all our dice back. They don't really help us in this case. Oh, actually they do. No, I thought that was a learn. That's not, that's a listen. So actually our dice aren't anywhere that would help us to have them free. So we get no real benefit from that. And her ability would let us use this after the fact. So that's tempting. When you do the flirt, can you move the cards out of the grid so we can see the happy couple in a close-up? Sure. And Jonathan points out that Iggy is wearing an orange cloak, so she does like the color orange. Now, I want to, here is a, this is a little more of a debatable thing. I don't know quite, I'm not 100% sure about this rule, but look, she's a sentient of this clan. She seems to be bringing this clan with her. So I think anytime we do an action regarding her, I think we can put a die here. So I think if we flirt or if we learn from her, we will be able to put something there. So I think I want to roll. I think I want to spend this and roll all 3 dice and then be able to get it back for when we flirt. So I'm going to spend this because I want to only roll 2 dice and not reset. I think that's right. So we're going to roll 2 dice for the learn test. We'll be able to put 1 here. We just have to hope we can survive these 2 dice. All right, here we go. Well, we can't really survive that one. But we can put, yes, we can. We can put this heart. How appropriate. We can put this heart right here. This one we put here. So we don't have to re-roll it. We use the heart to get into Iggy's heart to learn about her expertise. And let's see what she has to say. The sentient patiently teaches you how to create products as a business. Gain ability 1465. Okay. She's business oriented. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. She's not a romantic. Wait till she sees how much this amulet's worth. So he's taught us the ability to create things. Let's put it over here. So we could do the create action for 3 to put cubes on a structure or a vehicle, which we don't have any of. Somehow, I don't know where her sailboat went. She left it at the shore. Okay, so we don't really need this, but this will be useful in our future life together. Okay, the time has come to flirt with Iggy and thus court a sentient. So let's see if we can make this all happen. And this is here, and this is here. Okay, here is the date we're trying to set up with them, and the amulet that we're trying to court her with. I guess we're giving the amulet to her. And there's our goal. Although we should probably tell Iggy that we would be asking her out on a date, even if it wasn't. I mean, this is the informal goal. In his mind, in Emmeline's mind, he's thinking, if I could just get a girlfriend, I'll be happy. So we're going to try to flirt with her now. And it has to be successful. If she turns us down, we're in trouble. So here we go. Let's see. Let's get everyone on the table here. All right. So she taught us, and now we're going to try to flirt with her. 1341. Here we go. It's a 4 test. So let me remind you that we only have 1. We're not gonna spend this because she can let us do it after the fact. But since we don't have 4, we have to take everything back, which is good because now we can try to put a die on here, and we have our other orange dice. Okay, so 4, we're missing 1 more. Where's the other one? Oh, 2 more. I don't know how those got over here. Hopefully I haven't been only doing 8 for a long time. It's certainly possible. Doesn't matter. We would have still needed to recycle. Okay, here we go. It's a 4 test. You can spend this after the fact. All right. Go on our close up. Can you still see these? Yes. Okay, here we go. Okay, setback. She's like, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And then she's like, well, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And all we got to do is not die on this, because we would die if we had to eat this, but we've got lots of places we can put it. Is there a best place for us to put it? I guess we could record. We could put it on the amulet. Could put it anywhere, but it seems like the most thematically appropriate place to put it is either on the diary to record this day in our diary, or put it on the translator to help us talk to her. Seems like she already knows how to talk to us. So I'm going to put it here and record this entry in our diary. The date we went in, our first date with Iggy. Okay. So let's first see what the result is of this action. I guess it's not over yet. Choose the matching response based on how many boosts are on the sentient. Okay, so she's got 2 boosts. That's pretty good. That means we didn't use her abilities for other stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. It has to be successful or none of this works. Roll 4 skill dice. If there's at least one engaged, the sentient reciprocates with confidence, leading you into a glass orb to show you a projected map. Okay, so we're going to roll 4 skill. We need 1 engage. If we don't roll 1 engage, it doesn't succeed. And we have 1 reroll. So I should have put the die here that we had, this love die. Instead of recording in the diary, if I had put it here, we would have had an extra reroll. No. There's nothing to do but to do it. Here we go. All right, well, we didn't get it. We got 4 different, but we didn't get it. We have 1 reroll. Well, let's spend our reroll. Maybe we can put our diary on the other one. All right, let's reroll 1. Oh my God. Can you see that? Wow, 1 out of 6 chance on our last reroll, and we got it. How is that for an exciting finale? How is that for a finale? She's like, no, I can't. And we're like, come on, honey. Look at my outfit. You're not going to do better than me. I can even take you into the winter area. I know all the secrets. All right, we succeeded. It was a miracle, but we succeeded. The sentient reciprocates with confidence, leading you into a glass orb to show you a projected map. Gain 1 boost on this card, so she has become super powered and interested. And that's it. I don't understand what this projected map is. It's like, I thought she was going to show us the actual map. Maybe it's like a map of her heart. It's a projected map. We think it's a map of the land. then we realize it's a map of her heart. So, with that said, we've courted a sentient. They have reciprocates. 1623. Here we go. Book of Secrets, 1623. Here we go. Let's put her out here. There's the two of them. Let's not forget the amulet. I'm sure that doesn't hurt. It may not be what she's most interested in, but it's not going to hurt. It's worth $9. All right, here we go. You finally made the first move. Sure, it required you to crash land on a completely alien planet, but you did it. And they reciprocated. For all the connections you've felt speaking with people in a variety of languages over the years, this new connection trumps them all. Rotate this card and add it to your grid, replacing objective 1617. So this one gets rotated and put into our grid. And then we are back to being here with our sentient by our side. We'll put the amulet in our reserve. This got rotated, so now we have these abilities, but having done that, we've now done this. We've completed a final personal objective. That's what we just did. So now we read 1588. We accomplished a personal objective, and that was our mission. So now 1588 in the Book of Secrets. This is a pretty dramatic ending here we've got. All right, so let's see what, our personal objective was this. We should have this out. We've just had a romance. You feel an immense sense of satisfaction for completing your personal journey through a series of 3 objectives. You may either gain Destiny 1599 to pursue an epic victory via it, or any other destiny. Or end the game in a mission victory. So that's how the game works. You got a choice. When you finish a goal, you can stop with the goal victory, or you could try to do some destiny. Let's take a look at what that destiny is. I think we're probably going to end here happily married. I don't want anything bad to happen to Iggy, but we could take a look, and if this personal destiny is like, huh, 1599, huh? Well, let's look at what 1599 is. It says, find a crewmate or your kittens. Each character is either on the same location as another, or they have the kittens card in their grid. So it wants you to match up with another player. Or find kittens. Well, we don't know anything about any kittens, so unless Iggy has our kittens, I don't think we're doing that. So I think that's our game. I think that's our game right there. What do you think? Somehow we managed to survive. We even gave her an amulet. I'd love to get her a ring, but I think she's going to have to be happy with the amulet. I'm not sure a ring is going to stay on that finger anyway. Maybe amulet's safer. Jonathan says, yep, journey through at Kafkaesque city leads into romance, and we sail away on Iggy's boat. It was a good tale. I think it was a good tale. It was really an unexpected, unlikely tale that ended in a real cliffhanger, and somehow we made the romance work. Somehow we made it work. Well, thank you for joining me as always. I cannot see how many viewers because the YouTube thing scrolled out of the way because of crazy YouTube stuff. But a pleasure as always. Jonathan, thank you for joining me. Where are we going to settle down with this happy couple? I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to get away from this city. I don't like this city. I think maybe we take this boat across the river and visit our little wind creature friends. They seemed a little more helpful. I don't think we want to be in this city. All right, well, we'll put it in the diary. I guess that's it for this character. We're moving on to a new character next time. Trying to find happy endings for all of our people. 2 out of 2 people have decided to stay on the island and settle down. I wonder if that tells us something. Is one of our characters going to really try to get home? We'll find out next time. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you. I think maybe this weekend we're going to try to do Medical Mysteries Miami, but you can find out on the Board Game Geek Guild for this channel or the Discord. See you then.